it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting active.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. $21-0 our score after 1.
Bears 21, Colts nothing.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Chase Claypool, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Sterling Richter set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Indy set to go on offense once more.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
I know that on draft day, Jonathan Taylor was disappointed he didn't go in the first round, but when he heard his name called in the second round by the Indianapolis Colts, he had to be jumping up and down with excitement because of their big, strong, physical offensive line. And you put that with his downhill running style, and you've got a perfect combination, the perfect storm for a young guy coming into the league. 225 pounds, sub 4.4 at the combine. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to be a battering ram.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On the delay, here's Hines. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in at the 3.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. He's going to look deep for more. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let... Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DJ Moore, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to pour it on.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage.
He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So we've reached halftime. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight.
42.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equanimeous St. Brown. 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago! Equanimeous St. Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
To try again after the sack. Ryan, he sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. From the gun, Ryan. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
He was looking for Jack Doyle, the Pro Bowl tight end.
And it's 3rd down.
And 10 yards.
Throwing again, Ryan. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. And give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want to.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. 88 yards. And the Bears add on.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. 1-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Now following the touchdown, Hofrichter to kick off. Taken about 7 yards deep. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust? Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
First down, Indianapolis.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Now Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
Recovered by the offense.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced a 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced a dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Pushing through the contact. They can't corral him. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Equanimeous St. Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Johnson on the coverage.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Nowhere to
Oh, here he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
Good job, good job.
I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Equanimous St. Brown there to make the grab. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
Set to kick off.
Now, following the touchdown, Richter to kick off.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmaker.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to... And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Yeah, he is out up around the 15-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Fielded just inside the 30. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Touchdown, Bears.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will extend this big lead.
Set to kick off.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground.
And yet again, Ryan is intercepted.
picked off near the 42 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Well, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really...
Got his man, and it's caught for Chicago. Touchdown. DJ Moore, 43 yards. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice. To enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry a rhythm from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Indy set to go on offense once more.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Don't want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
Well, that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
And this will be a Bears first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
7 yards there and a first down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say,
and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Seibert on for the PAT.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches won't.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Khalid Kareem has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by the rookie, Jalen Johnson.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Bears touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone, and you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out, and I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Called it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
At their own 25-yard line.
And the Colts coming out now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Operating from the gun, Ryan. Able to shake him up, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
We dominate today.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the
Tonight, Soldier Field in Chicago. Sterling, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
This will make it into the end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive.
They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2018 in his 3rd season in the NFL. It's Baker Mayfield.
And he's looking good now. I mean, 5 touchdown passes in the last game. Okay, he threw a couple of interceptions. That's a little bit of a concern. But I remember a basketball coach telling me one time he had a guy average about 40 points a game. And he said the press came all over him because he didn't play much defense. He said he's averaging over 40 a game. The guy against him's not scoring that. We still have the advantage.
Yeah, and they got the win last week in that effort.
Even better. It's always best to clean up things after a win than after a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So now here are the Bears with excellent field position to start off. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here. And I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play.
The pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the Buccaneers.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack him, because right now...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He's tackled at
the rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 17 carries, 52 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Fournette on the toss to the right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Buccaneer 1st down.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. 10
yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So that time
Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. On third down, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And this doesn't quite work out as well as planned. They'll forfeit a few yards as he's tackled just past the 15.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backward.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DJ Moore, his 11th touchdown of the year, as the Bears push further out in front.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8-ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Mayfield over the middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A pass underneath for Fournette. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll return it from the 6. And another tackle broken. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job. they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Buccaneers, nothing.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Equanimous St. Brown. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here, because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his. The absolute devastating effect.
And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And his throw here's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Chris Godwin, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Now Leonard Fournette. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that, because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Sterling Hoff-Richter set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
5-yard line.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. From the 31, Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker, because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback. As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Mayfield from the gun on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first two possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either. Taking it about the 16. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Bears take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught. It's Robert Tonyan, the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end. Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless. Touchdown, Chicago! How about that? Their quarterback, 30 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed. And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there. He's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points.
Set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either. And they always tell you, don't press. Now Mayfield lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them. And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far. Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them. And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route
is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading them out.
And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Mayfield lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
That's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? And that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Chase Claypool, his fourth touchdown on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Austin Seibert on quarterback.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And the route is on here in this first half.
It's the score. Bears 56. Buccaneers nothing. Sterling Hoffrichter sets the kick
Now
off.
following the touchdown, Hoffrichter to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First down, Mayfield.
That's complete to his running back, Evans.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Khalid Kareem in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Jalen Johnson.
Every now and then it's hard for me to rein it in because this is one of my absolute favorite players in the draft. Jalen Johnson out of Utah. A long, angular corner. Occasionally peeks a little bit too often into the backfield, but he always wants to make a play on the football. He's got a chance to be the starter opposite Kyle Fuller, who was a first-round pick in 2014. Since then, the highest draft pick at the corner for the Bears, the 6th round, until Jalen Johnson was selected this year.
He's going to look deep for more. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. Is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Sterling Richter set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here, and due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
22-yard line.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
He's going to look deep for more. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30, 10, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DJ Moore, 78 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talked about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story. And wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
Set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
And I think the ball's out, and this is picked up by the Bears. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
The outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Tremaine Edmonds, the Bills' leading tackler in 2019, in on the stop. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Working out of the gun, Mayfield toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
2nd down and goal. Mayfield. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rob Gronkowski with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucs are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Another 1st down there as this one goes for 25.
Now they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Completion here to Claypool. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Still 1st down.
He'll look to throw. Right side, Claypool's got it. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Chase Claypool
with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bears add on.
That route's really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying don't. It's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise. And Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, their strong